Batman Nightfall is a pivotal story arc in the Batman comics, spanning from 1993 to 1994. The storyline introduces Bane, a formidable adversary who orchestrates an elaborate plan to break Batman physically and mentally. Bane frees the inmates of Arkham Asylum, forcing Batman to expose himself, recapturing them. In his weakened state, Batman confronts Bane, who ultimately defeats him and breaks his back, leaving him paralyzed. This catastrophic event forces Bruce Wayne to pass the mantle of Batman to Jean-Paul Valley, also known as Azrael. Bruce undergoes a long recovery and training period to reclaim his role as Gotham's protector. Nightfall is a tale of resilience, the psychological and physical toll of being Batman, and the relentless struggle against powerful foes. Hey everyone, welcome back to Figure Farm 45. Today, we've got something truly epic. It is the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman vs. Bane action figure set from the iconic Nightfall storyline. Batman's toughest challenge, Bane's most memorable moment, this set has it all. We're going to unbox it, dive into the details, and see if it lives up to the hype. So, let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off by taking a look at the packaging. The figure came in the standard McFarlane DC Multiverse packaging, which I always appreciate. The front features a large window that showcases both figures and their accessories nicely, giving you a clear view of what you're getting. On the side, it prominently displays DC Multiverse Batman vs. Bane, Batman Nightfall, highlighting the epic storyline that inspired these figures. Now, flipping it to the back, we get that iconic comic art of Bane breaking Batman's back. This is such a powerful image and really cemented Bane as the ultimate villain who broke the Batman. It's a great touch that adds a lot of context and nostalgia for fans of the storyline. Before we dive into the figures, I want to give a shout out to McFarlane for listening to us collectors. They've stopped gluing the art card and the standard McFarlane base to the background, which means you can now use the part of the packaging as a diorama for displaying the figure. Such a nice touch. Now, moving on to the accessories. Batman comes equipped with a batarang, a pair of clothes fists, a pair of weapon holding hands, and those special hands perfect for recreating the iconic breaking of Batman scene. For Bane, I'm really pleased that they now added an alternate closed fist this time, in addition to the grabbing hands that he comes with out of the box. This is a great improvement since the original Bane release that used this body mold didn't have those much needed alternate hands. It's clear that McFarlane is upping their game with these details. Let's talk about the scale of these figures. Bane stands tall at an impressive 9.5 inches or about 24 centimeters, which really captures the imposing presence of this character. On the other hand, Batman comes in at 7.5 inches or around 19 centimeters. The size difference between them really emphasizes the David versus Goliath dynamic from the comics. Both of these figures are retools of previously released versions. Let's start with Batman. This is actually the third time this mold has been used. We first saw it in the classic blue and gray costume, which is more true to the source material. Then we got this black and gray variant, and now this mold has been retooled to give Batman a battle damage look. First up, the head sculpt. It is different. It's got a hangry, gritted teeth expression, looking seriously beaten down. The paintwork on the torn parts of the costume is fantastic. The color and shading choices create the illusion that the torn design is molded, even though it's just painted. However, unlike the previous release, the logo is painted on and not a separate molded piece. There's also some orange shading on his yellow belt, which I think is a bit of a miss. A gray or darker color would have worked better for shading, but it's subtle, so it's not a deal breaker for me. The biggest difference is the wired cape, which is a great addition, especially if you're planning to recreate the iconic breaking of Batman scene. The cape material feels premium, with a cool two-tone design, blue on the outside and black on the inside. It has wires on both ends, giving you more posing options. As for articulation, since this is a reuse of the Nightfall mold, there's no change here. The articulation remains the same, so no surprise in this department. Now, let's get to the main event, Bane. Let's be honest, this Bane figure is the real reason we bought this two-pack, especially since the original Bane release sold out so fast. This is our second chance to own a Bane figure, and it's definitely worth it. The changes made to this figure bring it much closer to the comic version compared to the first release, which had a mix of a comic and Dark Knight Rises movie elements. First off, the head sculpt has wider eyes, making it look more accurate to the comic. They removed the pouches and the tank from his back, which aligns more to the comic version. Now there's only one tube connected to the back of his head that is directly connected to the gadget in his hand. The gadget in his hand are the same mold, but different paint application. I think this is what he uses to control the venom. The arms are also the same mold, just with different paint. I do like the green tube that they use on the old Bane as compared to this new silver steel look because I think this is more accurate, the green one. The belt is a completely new mold. Now, they applied this blue paint all around him, which I guess is their attempt of cell shading. I am not a big fan of it, but I think it's subtle enough that it doesn't really bother me that much. As for the articulation, there is no improvement here, which is kind of disappointing because this mold could definitely use an update for better articulation. The the elbows is still single jointed, making giving it only a 95-degree range. There's no bicep cut, no butterfly articulation, and no abdominal cut, just a waist articulation. However, the legs actually have enough articulation, making this surprisingly posable for a huge figure. So, is this two-pack worth it? For me, absolutely. I initially bought it for the more comic accurate Bane, but the battle damage Batman really surprised me in a good way. The detail of the battle damage is fantastic, and that that weird cape is a great bonus. As for Bane, he's the same mold as the previous release, but the changes make him more comic accurate. If the blue paint, which I think again is their attempt of cell shading, isn't a deal breaker for you, then this set is definitely worth adding to your collection. If you've made it this far into my video, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps a lot.